Good morning. Good morning. Hopefully I'm in the right place. Oh, yes. Oh, marvellous. Marvellous. Mark's just checking to make sure I'm on that one. I'm thinking, hello, am I in the right place here? Oh, yes. Somebody's in. Oh, yes, here we go. Good morning, Tracy. Good morning. You have the prize for being off pole first. Good morning. I do sometimes wonder when I've sat here from it, but then it's that connection, isn't it? Coming through. If you're in, come and say hello. Oh, good morning, Caroline. I've got something on my glasses. Oh, it'll do. Caroline, thank you for giving me the heads up on that about the lives on YouTube. I must have a word with Laura about that actually. Margaret, oh, good morning, Margaret. Good morning. I hope everybody's well. Had a lovely weekend. It's been very, very strange weather here. It's been really warm, but it's been windy and rainy. I don't know about with yourselves, but yes, it's been a bit bleh here. It's a shame because it was so warm. You could have literally gone out in a t-shirt at one point, which is very strange. So, I'll just wait for a couple more people to come in, and then we'll get started, crack on. And this morning we're going to be having a little play and a little delve, excuse me, with the Distress Spritz. Just have a sip of my coffee. So have we got any more coming in? Let's have a little look. We're going to have some messy play this morning.
Are we now?
Yes, messy play this morning. Yep. Right, I'll just have another sip of my coffee and then... Oh, excuse me for that. It's lovely. Right then, so let's get, I think we'll get started. Yes, we'll get started now because I've got quite a nice bit that I want to do and show you today. So, as I just said, we're going to be playing around with the the Rangers Distress Spritz. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn you around. Yeah, I've got some tags here that we've just stenciled some paste on, so I might want to just quickly give them a little bit of a flick over with the heat tool. I'm going to turn you around and then we can show you... oh, just in time, Danielle. Just in time for me to... I'm just about to turn the camera around, but... That's nice because I can say good morning to you before I turn it round. Righty-ho. Okie dokie. So we'll just turn the camera round and then we can have a little look at what we're talking about. There we go. Let's have a little look. Is that better? Has it not gone round? Are you looking at the ceiling?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. I was too light on my touch, I think. I think that's better. Well, I can definitely see it here. Yep, smashing. Okie dokie then. So, what I thought we'd now... Right, so I had something else planned and then I thought, no, because I've been wanting to do these for a while on one of the That's Crafty Creative Lives, and I've not got around to it. So when I posted this on Thursday on the That's Crafty Creatives, I had so many lovely comments about it, and just different people asking different questions and bits and bobs, that I thought it would be a really good opportunity to actually have a little play with these Distress Spritz. Okay, so what we're going to do first is we're going to actually talk through the Distress Spritz and just really give you a bit of a heads up as to what they are. If you have got them already, because they have been out a little while, please can you let me know? Please indicate on the live that you've got them. Let me know what you've been doing with them, and also, if you can, let me know what you think and everything else, because you know what, it's always good to have everybody else's opinion as well. Personally, I've fallen completely head over heels with them, but then again, it's just right up my street because it's all about backgrounds and everything else. So let's just talk about the spritz themselves. Oh, good morning, Irene. So you'll hear Mark in the background. Bless him. He's just drying a couple of tags that I've put through. Oh, excuse me. That I've got paste on. Because I thought, if we get those done beforehand, they can be dry, and I don't want to be wasting any time doing that. Okay, so what I have got here, I am a very lucky girl because I've got the set. Now this is a set that's been put together by Ranger. So of course Ranger are the company, as you know. Tim Holtz Ranger are the company that now I'm sorry, just to pause there, if you hear some building works in the background, I do apologise. It is next door at the unit, and they're having some work done. I did ask them if they could do as much quiet work as possible, but you know, it is what it is when you've paid somebody to come in and do work. Anyway, so I'm hoping you'll be able to hear me okay. I'll make sure that I speak up good and proper. Right, so this is a set that was actually put together by Ranger and is being sold, obviously, with Laura on Thats Crafty. Personally, I think it is a fantastic way of actually purchasing the spritz, if you can, and there is a super offer on Laura's page on Thats Crafty website at the moment with these. Personally, I'm not sure where I've seen them at such a good offer. Now, singly, they are a very affordable spray as well. They're not an expensive spray. Now, there's lots of sprays, obviously, that Distress have actually done. They've done the oxide sprays, they've done the mica sprays, they've done obviously the spritz sprays. We're only going to concentrate on the spritz sprays this morning. Maybe another time we can look at another one and look at the different Thats Crafty sprays as well. But I just feel that these are such a marvellous addition. If you do like your inky backgrounds, you like your, you know, you like making backgrounds, you like maybe having a whole morning or a whole afternoon session with your crafting, just making backgrounds, these, I must admit, have been a lovely addition to what I have got already. Okay, so we're going to talk about them very briefly. So that was Mark the heat tool if you've just come in. Now, they do come in, obviously, a spray, a lovely fine spray bottle, because you know with Distress they always have an exceptional spray on them. Before I forget, in case I do forget as I'm going along, I may repeat it later on in case, just in case anybody's not heard. The one thing I would massively suggest with any spray, it doesn't matter what company, what spray is in, what the actual spray constitutes inside the actual bottle. When you have finished with the sprays, always try and make good practice to actually unscrew the nozzle at the top and actually rinse it through with some nice warm water, okay, to make sure it's flowing through the tube, rather than spray as we do and then put the lid on, put them to one side, and then the next time we come to them you think, I really wish I'd done that, because it's not blocked up, but it's maybe not spraying as well as what it should do. Okay, so I'm just looking round for my cloth. Just bear with me, sorry. Yes, it's here. Normally I have my towel and stuff when I've got mine. Not that I'm going to make a mess, it's for wiping down and bits. So these are I'll go through the colours, what we've got in this set. Now, like I say, you can order them individually, but you will find that if you are liking what you see from what I'm going to do in the next hour, then buying them individually, yes, fabulous, but this set has been put together so that you've got you've got a really good range all the way through, and you've also got you know, all your sort of like colour families and bits and bobs. You've also got the ability to mix a couple of them, not obviously in the sprays, but separately, mix a couple of them up, and then you're going to actually extend what you've got within your collection colour wise. Okay, so the first one that we've got is actually we've got peel paint, we've then got barn door, peacock feathers, walnut stain, spice marmalade, weathered wood, worn lipstick, wilted violet, we've got uncharted mariner, and we've also got the twisted citron. So if you put the actual colours more or less together as to the colour families, let's put them like so, and then you put that one there, the walnut stain. That one maybe would fall into the blues, because of course it's got that grey sort of a blue feel to it. So pretty much that's how you would look at them within the range. Now, obviously once you get these, you can buy them singly so you can add into your collection. I will be doing that because I'd like the full availability really, because they're just yeah, they're fabulous. Right, so what are they? So they are a highly pigmented spray full of mica. Now I'm going to try and pop that up to the camera, and I think you can see. Now what we've got is you've actually got the mica, which sits in a clear liquid. The liquid is not coloured. Okay, and this makes them slightly different to the other mica sprays that Distress have got, because the actual liquid, which is obviously the water that is in the bottle with the mica in the other sprays, have actually got a colour in them. So, and the oxides have as well, and this creates a much deeper finish to what you're looking for. Now these are more of an accent. Okay, I would actually strongly suggest that you look at them as an accent, but the more that you spray, the deeper obviously the colour. All right, so we will go into that in a little bit more detail, but I think this is why Ranger have put these at such an excellent price point for selling, because they are an accent and not so much so you're going to be putting them on top of your inks that you lay down, and this is what I did with these particular pieces. And also I've got this piece here which I absolutely love, I'm trying to replicate that today, but whether I will or not is another thing. But you can see here, I'm hoping that you can see that on camera. Yeah, so basically what you're looking at here is you're looking at several different options. You've got the options of laying down your colour initially with either a distress oxide or an ordinary distress ink, whichever, or you can actually just spray them straight onto your cardstock, which will give you a completely different look. So we're going to have a little look at that. If we've got time, we will we'll have a little look at this card as well and put that together. But we'll see how we go.
Elaine and Jones just come in recently.
Oh, good morning, Elaine. Elaine. Oh, sorry. Yeah, and Joan. Good morning. So we're talking Distress Spritz. So the actual colour of the card that you are using, and what I've done is I have got some tags here. So the actual colour of the card is going to determine the colour and the finish, the finish on your actual project. It's like any mica or any interference ink, spray or paint. If you put it onto white and then you put it onto black, it's going to look completely different. It's the same, any metallics, any mica, anything like that. So it's actually the underneath that will affect the colour of what you want. I think personally you're going to get a much more mica, deeper colour if you put it onto black than what you are onto white, but then you're going to get a different look altogether on the white, which is obviously something that we also want. Okay, so I'm going to just give you a quick example of that. All right, so I've got my tray here. I'll just move that card out of the way. That will be a different colour to what we started. I'm going to go onto the white. I'm just going to pull my sleeves up, not because I'm going to get in a mess, but because they're in the way. Right, we're going to have a look at peacock feathers. All right, we're going to have a look at that on the white to start off with. So straight away, what you need to do is you need to shake your sprays. Now, normally I would say do them like this, but on this occasion, because the mica will have dropped quite significantly, you will need to shake them up and down. As you can hear, there is a ball bearing in there, and it will help obviously with the shake up of the micas. Storing them, just very quickly talking about storing them, it really is up to you as to how you store them. Now, some people are storing them on their sort of laying them down so that the mica is sort of even along the bottom when it actually lays down. Personally, I stand mine up, but then when I want to use them, if I can be think about it ahead of time, I do get them out and then I do lay them down just for 10-20 minutes or whatever before I want to use them, and then that sort of helps along with the actual mixing of them. Don't store them like this, okay? If anybody tells you to store them like that, please don't, because all that's going to do is it's just going to block up the tube and the spraying, and it's just going to be a mess. Now, they are water-based, okay, so you can wear gloves, obviously, if you want to do. They're not as heavily stained as some of the sprays because, like I've just said, the actual fluid that's in there is water and it's not coloured. That's good. I've got some colour laid down there already. So you can see there, if you don't want that to happen, by the way, just take your lid off away from your project, but on this occasion it doesn't matter. So you can see here on this one, it's beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. The colour matches from the inks to the sprays are absolutely stunning. They really are, and I have to say I'm really quite took back as to how they've got this, because it really is quite remarkable. But I mean, Ranger obviously are quite experienced in all of this now, aren't they? So you can see here, obviously you can see it's very fluid, so it's very, very loose. when you spray it out, because obviously it's a liquid. It's quite a loose liquid because it's only got mica in. It's got nothing else. Now, sometimes some sprays are better left to dry naturally, but these aren't. These actually do make much more of a better impression if you actually give them a little bit of heat. So if you don't have a heat tool, which I doubt very much that most of you that's watching on here, you all have a heat tool. If you don't, obviously place it on a radiator or something like that. But you will be able to see now when I'm just going to just pop that on with just that little bit of a blob there, because it's going to take a few minutes to dry, that is. What you're going to see now is, I'm sorry about having to use the heat tool, but I will need to on this live. So what you're going to see now is you're going to actually see that beautiful peacock colour coming through. All right, so you've got that, and it really is a fabulous, fabulous match to the original colour. When you look into the mica, you can see. Now you can also see, obviously, that I've used the white card, so this is a lot lighter. So I'm going to put that one to one side. I'm now going to bring this black one in, and you can see, straight away, you can see the difference. All right, so you've got, straight away, you've got that lovely, that really gorgeous depth of colour. And what I also like I didn't think it could when it was on a line. There you go. Sorry about that. Anyway, what we've got here is we've got that beautiful depth of colour using exactly the same, which is the peacock feathers. We're going to give this a really quick spritz. Not a spritz, sorry, we're going to give it a really quick dry, and then you're going to see that absolutely stunning peacock feathers colour coming through. Now what I would strongly recommend, and I haven't had the opportunity to do it, but I'm going to swatch them on different cardstock, because I do feel that would be advantageous to actually look at them and be able to actually just take the swatches out and think, well, yes, I've got this, say for instance, I've got a piece of background paper, or I've done a project and I want to look for a little bit of spray to add to the project, but I want the right colour. Then you can actually look to see how it would work on your project, looking at the swatches. Now, when you look at this one now, I'm hoping that you can see okay. You have got all the colours coming through that you would see on a peacock. I mean, look, just look at that. Absolutely stunning, stunning. So that is how, you know, the difference between the white and the black. And this is why you need to choose your colours wisely as to what you've got underneath. So obviously if you've got another colour card, say for instance you've got a green and you spray it with the green and that sort of thing, then obviously look, you know, there's going to be different takes on how it all comes out, and it's worth having a go. Obviously, you know, don't use up all your sprays just having a play, because, you know, that's going to be a shame. But I must admit,
it always looks good on black though.
Always looks good on black because it's a mica. But what I'm really impressed about is the fact that on the white you've still got that really, really gorgeous lot of mica coming through. And sometimes, even though a spray is full of mica, sometimes you don't get that intensity, which, like I say, is quite impressive actually. Yeah, you can tell I'm impressed, can't you? Easily impressed, I know. Right, so the other thing that we can do with them is, and this is where the whole distress sort of families all come into play really. what we can do now is we can add, so I'm going to stick, for the time being, I'm going to stick with the peacock feathers just so that you can see what all the, you know, how the differences will be. But obviously we'll have a play with the other colours as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take, let me just grab, I've got it here because I've got, actually I'll tell you what I'll do. No, I'm going to stick with what I intended to do. Here we go, peacock feathers. I've got lots of distress inks on my table as well because I wanted to show you all different things. So this is my peacock feathers. This is the distress ink. Now, the distress ink, distress oxide, I've found personally that obviously you get the different look with the oxides and the ink. You get more of an intense look with the ink than you do with the oxides, because what you're getting is you're getting more obviously of a chalky feel with the oxides. But what you're not going to get is you're not going to get it's what it doesn't do is actually interfere with the ink that you've actually laid down underneath, which I find really amazing, because the inks, the distress inks and also the oxides are actually water reactive. So when you get the oxides and the inks and you spritz water onto them, as we all know, they create these really, really gorgeous finishes, don't they? With the, when you can mop it up and find that it's actually like bleaching the card in various areas. And I think, you know, it's lovely. I love doing that, and I think it gives such depth of your design as well. But with this, for some strange reason, it doesn't do it. But obviously that's what they aim to do. So let's also get a little bit of a stencil going on here. Now this one, I've picked this one because it's a really all-round colour. Now this one is TC8057. I love it. It's one of the larger ones, but it's perfect if you want to be doing large sheets. Say if you want to do a masterboard, say if you want to do a big sheet, say of a 12 by 12 piece of white cardstock, and you want to do a masterboard, so you want to do the whole thing with different, with inks and sprays and stamping and everything else on it. This is a really, really super one to do. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm going to do it in this way. I'm going to add my distress ink over the top. Now it's the same colour. I'm still sticking with the same colours because what I want to do is I want to show you the different options. Alright, so when I go through, obviously stencils, oh gosh, we've all got lots and lots of them, haven't we? And you choose accordingly. Alright, so you can see now, absolutely gorgeous. Love that. Really, it's a stunning stencil. I really do like that one, and I just think it's a really lovely addition to adding a nice florally background without it being too in your face. I know it's leaves, but you know what I'm saying. Just put that there, just to add that there. There we go. Right, so I've got distress ink on distress ink, and now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to very lightly spray, and this is just directly over the top. So that's how light you can spray. The sprays are excellent, I have to say, absolutely excellent. And what I will be doing is, when I have finished these, not that they're going to be finished for a while because there's an awful lot in them, and I've used hardly any, and I've used them quite a lot, just trying things out and everything. I will keep these, and then I'll use them for just a spray bottle, because I mean, you know me, I don't like waste. So I've popped that on there. I am going to just give it a very quick heat, because like I said, when you heat these, they do tend to give a much more intense mica feel to them. And there we go, you'll see, isn't this absolutely stunning? I love it. The effects that you've got, you can still see everything underneath, but look, when you move it around, you've got those gorgeous mica sprays on top. Now, if I'd have gone over with the Distress mica stains on this one, which is obviously something else, perhaps talk about another time, this would have very much have covered a lot of that pattern from the stencil, but these don't, because they are an accent, and this is what, you know, we're trying to sort of point out today, really, that it is an accent when all's said and done. There we go. So that's gorgeous, lovely, really, really nice. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to do the same with regards to the background. Okay, so I'm just going to very quickly, so I've just got, if you could see my desk, what I've done is I've piled different things up, different stencils, different inks, different this and that. Now, if anybody would like to see, if you're thinking, oh, well, I've tried this and I wasn't quite sure about it, but if anybody's got any questions at all, please do ask, because this is what it's all about. It's about educating. It's about passing on what, you know, what we think to a product and everything. So I've lightly gone over that. We don't need a tremendous amount. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do a completely different technique. I'm going to actually put my stencil over the top.
Oh, Elaine wants to know what stencil you've used.
Well, on this one, on that one, Elaine. Right, so I have used, and I think Laura's tagged it in, but it's TC8057, and it's one of the bigger ones. It's the 8x8, so you can see it really is. I'll just get my ruler here. You can see it's a really, really good size stencil. It's one of my go-tos, I must admit, Elaine. It's just such a beautiful, beautiful background. And also, not just for, what would I say? You could actually use this on masculine cards as well. It's not floral in that way. So we've got a lovely bit of swirl going on. Now, we're going to spray through the stencil now. So what you will get, you will never get, as much as you try your hardest, you will never get an absolute crisp finish when you're spraying through a stencil. Even if you fasten it down, if you put a magnetic sheet underneath it or whatever, you'll always get sort of more of a blur, not blurred, but you'll see the pattern. We'll do it, and we'll show you what I mean. But what you're going to get is you're going to get that slight bit of seepage underneath the actual stencil itself, all right? Now, there's one thing that I want to do. Well, that is, I'm just going to leave it there just for a second. I want to actually take, if I can do this as I want to just pop that on there. Not pressing, I'm not putting all my weight underneath it. And I know you're thinking, oh, that doesn't look much. No, you're right, it doesn't. It's just I've picked up the excess, and you can actually see, when this is dry, you'll see the actual pattern. So I'm going to put that over there. It's just I don't want to waste it. I don't want to waste the ink. So I'm going to lift that up, and now I'm going to take my book, just put that there just for a second. I'm going to very carefully take that there and then put a piece of bit of paper, here we go, over the top and just press that down. So basically, again, I've got so much, there's ink on here because it's resisting off the mylar, obviously, which is fantastic because obviously we get more spray for our money.
Yeah, Jean says she likes them sprays because they're so easy to use.
They are.
They are, yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. Which Jean is this one?
New home.
Sorry?
New home.
Oh, lovely Jean. Hi, Jean. Yeah, so basically, Jean won't mind me saying, Jean does have a few problems with her hands, as do I must say. But she's got a little bit of, well, should we say just a little bit of arthritis in them. And so some sprays do come a little bit more challenging to her. And I think a lot of people do find this sometimes. But I must say they are very, very easy to use. Right, so I've just wiped that with my towel, and you can see here, and I'm going to just give this a quick spray. Now this on a background, so what I've got here is, this is actually one of my Pink Pig books that I just use just for like mopping up and that sort of thing. I never waste these, never waste it, because you can see, although it's only slight, you can still see the pattern that's coming through. Okay, and you can also see that beautiful mica. Needs a bit more of a white. Now I'm going to bring in the tag. And although, obviously, like I said, you will not see the distinct pattern from this, not at all, but you will get that really, really lovely back, you know, that background sort of idea of the actual stencil itself. So if I just dry this off, and then what we're going to do is, it needs to be dry, that's why I'm being a bit fussier with that one. Then if I just lift that up, now I know it's not the actual stencil itself. Now if I bring in the other one in, you can see, but what you've got is, you've got a lovely accent in the back, you know, sort of like to build onto then. So if you bring this stencil back in, let's just take that away, just bring that stencil back in, bring your ink and your brush back in, and then I'm not matching it up at all, I'm just randomly placing the same stencil over the top. And all we're doing here is we're using exactly the same colour all the way through. Obviously, you know, you can mix and match your colours up if you want to. Just be mindful, though, that you don't want to make messy, you know, doing them.
Just say yes to Irene.
Yes.
She asked if we have them in stock.
Oh, yes. We're actually going to be playing with these, Irene, on Wednesday, as well as the other Thats Crafty sprays as well. So now what we've got is, this may not be your cup of tea, but we've got lots of layers going on now, haven't we? So if I wanted to put something on there, what we've got is, this is obviously only a background. I wouldn't put this on and just put a sentiment on. I would use this as a background for maybe a gorgeous butterfly, or I've actually cut my bee out, so you could add your bee, you could add some stamping in the background as well if you wanted to, and that would really create, this reminds me a little bit of what do you call it, the fabric, quite heavy fabric. It's like years and years ago we used to have that wallpaper. Yeah.
In the 70s.
Yeah. Yeah, and no, it's not an glitter. Irene, I'm not sure whether you actually saw the beginning of it, but what I was saying was that Laura's got this incredible set on the actual website at the moment, on Thats Crafty, that is Flock, that's it. Who was that? Joan. Thank you, Joan. Thank you. That's exactly what I was thinking. Flock. Anyway, yes, Irene. So have a little look on Thats Crafty, on the Thats Crafty website, and have a little look at this this set that we've got, that Laura's got on a really special offer at the moment. Okie dokie. So we'll just pop that lid on there. So now what we're going to do is we're now just going to have a very, very quick look at what we've done so far. And I know it's all just playing as such, but I'm just wanted to show you. So white cardstock, black cardstock, white cardstock with the Distress ink on the background, Distress ink through the stencil, and then spritz lightly. And then this one, I'll just take my little buzzy bee off, is Distress ink on the background, or you could use oxide, and then we've sprayed through the stencil, not accurate as we've said, but then going over the top for a more accurate finish. And I think that's rather lovely. And then of course what we've got is we've got our mop-ups, which we've got here, and we've also got another mop-up here, which is the one that I very lightly put on the top. Okay, so there we go. So we've got lots of different options and alternatives there to actually use. Now, what I'm also going to do is, let me just check that these are dry. Yes, they are. So we're going to go for a different colour. Although this is obviously a feather, so we should have really have used peacock feathers, but it's not a problem. So what we've done is we've gone ahead and actually used, now then, where's the feather stencil? It might, maybe is, it's here. Now just excuse this one. This is very, 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 very loved, this one. Well used and very loved. Here we go. So it's one of my favourites. Laura knows this because I'm a bit of a one for using it. TC 60054. Okay, so this is the feather one. Absolutely stunning. Now what I've done is I've used the black structure paste, the texture paste. That's Crafty one. Love it. Reason why I love it, I love this one because it's a matte finish. Okay, there's a lot of black texture pastes out there, but they're not a matte finish, they're a shiny finish. And I don't want a shiny finish. If I want a shiny finish, I can add varnish on the top. But what I want is, I want the option to be able to do what I want in the beginning. So this is why this one is definitely the one that I would suggest. If you don't have any black and you want to have a go at black, this is definitely my first go-to. So use the stencil straight through, no fuss, no mess, and then we've got the black and the white. So I'm going to just pop this tray back, trying to be all clean and tidy. Now what I want to do is I want to show you now how lovely these sprays go over the black paste. All right, so I'm going to choose some different colours because obviously you don't want to keep seeing the same colour, but I might include the peacock feathers obviously because of it being a feather. Right, I'm going to go with wilted violet. Might be a very strange bird if you saw this one, but anyway. Oh, good morning, Philippa. Good morning. Hope you're both all right. Right, so, oh, it's not that Philippa. Is it Philippa McCartney? Oh, good morning, Philippa. I hope you're doing okay, lovely. I know you're having your challenges at the moment, aren't you? Right. Right then, so, we're going to lightly spray. We've got enough going on. There we go. Lightly spray onto the white. So I've lightly sprayed onto the white, but what I want to do is I want to go onto the black a little bit heavier. Okay, and then I'm going to take the peacock feathers just over, take that over there, and then let it just sit for a minute. Just sit, just for a minute. And what you're going to notice is, obviously, because the structure paste that we're using from Thats Crafty is porous, because it's not got a gloss finish to it, it's porous, so we can really, you can see it's going to settle on it and dry, I am going to come in with the heat tool, because again we want to aid for speed, but also to give you that really full on idea of what it does. Now on this one, what I did was I've just left it with a black paste. What I could have done, and I haven't done because I wanted you to see the black paste underneath it, but what I could have done, I could have actually gone over with the stencil over the top, left the stencil on, obviously cleaned it off when we've been doing the structure paste, dried it off, popped it back on, and then we could have inked through with a different colour if you wanted to. But I wanted you to see the black paste and see how it reacted with that. Alright, so just giving it a quick once over. Can you see how gorgeous that has popped? Look at that, isn't that absolutely lovely? And what it's done is, because we put the black paste on the white card, you can see it's not actually gone too much onto the background, because I only did it lightly around here, and so you're still getting that lovely definition of the feather. Isn't it gorgeous?
Liz Wheeler's just joined us.
Oh,
sorting out the gas man.
Oh, okay. Good morning, Liz. Oh, hope the gas man's all right. Well, I hope your gas is all right. Right, so as you can see, it's absolutely gorgeous, isn't it? What I want to do is I want to just add a little bit. Now, this is one of my favourites. This is one of my favourite colours of the Distress, is Twisted Citron. And I must admit, I think this is going to be the one, possibly, that's going to end up being the one that I've used the most. Right, take my lid off away from the project. And all I want to do is really just add a little bit into the middle, like so. Now, when I heat that, so at this point, we haven't, I don't think we've done this, we haven't actually laid colour on top of colour with regards to the sprays, but you watch, this is fabulous, because it doesn't, what it does is it lays on the top of your colour, but it still keeps the beautiful colour of the true colour of the spray. Now if I lift it up like that, absolutely gorgeous. Can we see that I'm just twisting it round a little bit, twisting it around. Yeah? There we go. So how beautiful is that? And that's just on, admittedly, it is a watercolour cardstock, because it's out my Pink Pig book. Laura does have the Pink Pig books as well, so if you are looking for those, and I have to say incredible quality, then these are definitely the way to go. All right, so that one is that one. Now what I want to do now is, of course, obviously I want to show you the black on the black, because that's going to be our contrast, isn't it? I'm going to do exactly the same colours, because then you get that lovely contrast feeling to it. You get the comparison nicely. So a little bit in the background, like so, heavier over the actual feather itself. We're going to give that a little bit of a dry off. So you can see, although we're going, sometimes when you just go nice and light, you can get this lovely speckly feel to it, or go a little bit harder on the actual nozzle, and you're going to get that lovely, much darker feel to it. Yeah, a more intense, sorry, not darker, but yeah, darker colour, darker feel to it. So, there we go. Now, so I'm going to again go with exactly the same colour because I want to give the comparison. Now you can see. That's it. Just dibble out the little drips so we don't waste them. Right, so if we just give that, this, you'll see why I love this Twisted Citron, and I think the actual purple, any of the purples, Villainous Purple, Villainous Violet, yeah, I think that's it, or the Wilted Violet are just amazing with the Twisted Citron, because of course purple and the green of course go so well together. Now look at this one. I've not got such a... Now you see the difference in... I've got this. This is like a 250 GSM bit of card stock. Just random card stock. Now you can see the difference between that one, the way that it holds, and that one. But when this is dried fully, it will be absolutely fine. It's obviously because we've put water on. But look at this one. Isn't that absolutely gorgeous? That really is stunning, isn't it? Now what you can do, if you wanted to, of course, you could cut this out and then you could lay them on your project. But I mean, obviously this, you wouldn't waste it because you'd just use it for something else. So something like this, what we could do is we could bring in, let's have a look, let's get my Wilted Violet. Here we go. And if you bring in your Wilted Violet, now this is quite a new one, so I'm just going to tap off there. And just bring that just around the edges. You can now see where this stunning, the colour matches do come in. And everything looks so well thought out. And actually, it's not really. It's just that you are using the same colours as the sprays. I won't go any further because I just wanted to show you how beautiful that looks when you actually add that on to, you know, sort of a bit of the corners or whatever. Right, so now what I want to do is, oh, we're gathering up some nice little bits there. Now what I want to do is I want to show you just how we got these gorgeous background pieces. So when I was doing something else, playing around, I got some die cut leaves and I was actually spraying them in my box like this. Okay, this was just to ignore the orange because that's just from something else. And I was spraying them. Of course, you can't help that the spray goes in other places. And I had them on a something else, and I was spraying them, and I thought, well, I can't waste that. So I mopped it up, and that was literally this piece of card, which was sort of like in one piece, was mop up. All right, so please do remember that you must mop up all your, don't waste any. And I know that you're all good at it. I know that you are, and you don't waste. But honestly, they make the most stunning backgrounds. And if you do journaling, or you do you know, you use Liz's templates, and you want pieces to add to your project and things, just do them, put them away, and then just have a little look through to see if you've got colour matches for things. Paper piecing. Ooh, was that your idea?
Yeah, just thought about it.
Hey, well, there you go. Gosh, and it's only Monday. Normally you come on, you're on fire on a Friday, Mark. There you go. Blooming heck, what's it going to be like on Friday? Good grief. Right, you put me off my stride there because I thought you'd been, you know. Right, so what I did was I was spraying away in my tray, as you do. And then I was spraying, and I've got my peel paint. This is gorgeous, it really is. Peel paint, and we'd also got the, did I use walnut stain? No, I didn't use walnut stain. Oh, no, I didn't. I used spice marmalade because I wanted a real sort of autumn type idea. Not that it is autumn, obviously. So I was spraying along like this, spraying my leaves like this. And then I'd got some of the spray left over from the stencils and the die cuts, and all I did was just pick it up like I did on here, just pick it up, and I'd got this, and I thought, well, it's all right, it's not marvellous, but it'll do. So I'd literally took that and I put it to one side, and then I thought, well, I wanted to do a project of it. You know, I was doing a project for last Thursday, and I knew that I wanted to use the grunge butterfly, the grunge bumblebee. And I thought, well, I knew I wanted. I always start off basically in my head with the stamp set that I want to use or the paper kit that I want to use, and then I grow from there. So I knew I wanted to use this because I've been wanting to use it for a few weeks and done other things. So I thought, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to work around and I'm going to add on to this. So that's exactly what I did. I added on to it a little bit, and a little bit of the oh, sorry, I haven't got that one. I haven't got that one done. Let me just wiggle that around a bit. So I added a little bit of the spice marmalade, and then I dried it, and then I thought, well, that's still not really what I'm looking for, because I wanted it to be grungy. I wanted to use the background stamps with it as well. So I'll just dry this off, and then basically all I did was then just add, let me just do this. There we go. So this is when you could have fun, just playing around. And just making your own backgrounds, but at the moment it had far too much white in it for my liking. So although that looks lovely, it really does. And if you were die cutting, of course, use backgrounds for your die cuts and for your stencils and all that sort of thing. Just want to make sure I've got it right. I'm going to add some colour to it in a second. I'll just slightly dab that because I need to add some ink to it, and I don't really want to. Okay, right, I'm taking spice marmalade, and I've also got forest moss and peel paint. Okay, so I'm going to put I think I'll put the greens on first. So put a little bit of forest moss on. Now this is an oxide. I often mix them up. Well, more than often. I use an oxide, I use ordinary distress. It depends what I'm looking for. It depends what I want. Now, at first I thought, well, if I go over the top with the inks, I'm going to lose the mica. But actually you don't. And this is what's really fabulous about it. So, there you go. Now, I know I haven't actually constructed anything today, but I have, oh, those bits weren't quite dry, and that's when you would leave it. Right, so that was my forest moss oxide, which I do find is a little bit, tiny bit lighter than the Distress ink forest moss, but then that's just my opinion. And then I did put a little bit of peel paint, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the spice marmalade, which of course is one of the sprays that we used, and then I added the sprays. Now look, how long have I, not even 5 minutes, I've been playing around with that. And how gorgeous is that? So look how the mica, look how, excuses, that was, if obviously we weren't in a timed event, I would have left that to, and given it much more of a dry on the heat tool. But that's why you need to dry it. But you can see the mica, hopefully you can see that, is still coming through really, really well, even though I've put the Distress inks over the top. Now,
Indiana Jones map, that is.
it just, actually you could use it for that, couldn't you? And then basically what I did, I took these beautiful, absolutely gorgeous background stamps, and took my VersaFine Clair. Now in my hand, if you're not happy with doing it in your hand, then just use your blocks, obviously. But in your hand, you can get much more of a random. And the second generation one as well is really nice. That's it, don't over egg the pudding. Right, so I've got that one. And then I also have, I bet I don't have the, I also had the chicken, what I call the chicken wire. But, oh no, I didn't get that one out. So I used the little chicken wire one. I did actually, if you have a look back at last Thursday's, or maybe Laura knows, this is actually a dinky stencil. So I added this dinky stencil just to the background there. And then if you wanted to, of course, what you could do is, using your darker green, which is the forest moss, we could then go in and add, obviously we've got quite a few layers on here now. There we go, just adding that on there, and then you've got that gorgeous. This is another favourite. I'm a bit like Bruce Forsyth, aren't I? Oh, you're my favourite. This is the TC 600 55, and this is the one that I zentangled or tangled or doodled or whatever you want to call it, and then I painted the actual bee in the silk paints, and oh, I did have some fun with that one. It was lovely. So what you've got here now is you've got that fantastic background. I mean, obviously it's very geared to be a grungy project, isn't it? But it's still rather lovely, isn't it? The other thing is, and this will be my last thing that I'll be able to show you, is, where's my bee? The other thing that we can do, of course, oh, let me wipe my surface. Now this is the true me when I'm investigating and playing.
They've not got a wide shot yet.
You don't need a wide shot. You really don't need a wide shot, because actually this was so clean this morning, it was unreal. Right, so you know we used the black texture paste, didn't we? And we used that on the feather, and we also used the white texture paste on the feather to give you a contrast. Well, what I've got here is I've done the white texture paste on the black. We did the black on the black previously, and the other one, and this was a new pot, which is always lovely. Isn't it gorgeous when we have a new pot of anything? The texture sand paste, which is this one. Okay, so what now? With the texture sand paste, this is more. It does give you a finish of obviously you've got the sand texture, but you've got more. It's not gloss, but it's more of a satin feel, so it is a bit more glossy. So what will happen with this one, let me just pop this in here. So what I've done is I've just nipped through with a stencil. Which one is this one? I think is it around. Oh, is it still in the kitchen? It's drying. We'll get that number for you. So I'm going to use, let's use one that I haven't used already. Let's have a look at the Uncharted Mariner. So what I'm going to do with this one, I'm going to show you when you spritz onto here, it will resist. Okay, it will resist. Didn't resist, as you know, on the black structure paste, but it will resist on this one. So my suggestion is with this one is to ink over with Chartered Mariner or a different colour, doesn't matter, and then go over with the actual sprays. Now I wanted to show you that because I think it's just going to, it's going to just advising you to do that rather than going in and doing what I've just done so that I can show you. Now the stencil, this stencil is TC 668. I can't remember all the names, I am sorry, there's so many of them. But if you do this, which I did the other day, just trying out different things for the live today. There we go, let me just dry this one off. It does give a lovely finish to it because it's going to sit on it, obviously, and because we're force drying it. But what else, I love this about the sand texture paste. When you heat it more than what you need, basically, because at this point it was dry anyway because we've done it prior to the live starting. But if you heat it a little bit more, what it does is it puffs up. I know. And we'll see if it will do it. Yeah, it's doing it. So basically, it's giving you that incredible depth. And it reminded me of Moroccan tiles. It maybe is called Moroccan actually, or some sort of a Moroccan feel. Tunisia as well. When we went to Tunisia the end of last year, we got the, you know, the feeling of this. Isn't that lovely? It's just different. It has resisted, but it's sat on it, and then it's given you that really lovely sort of like speckly idea. But give it a couple more minutes to excuse my arm, sorry, I'm looking for Uncharted Mariner, and the bee satin spice marmalade for some reason. Perhaps does like the colour. Yeah, let's have a look. Oh, it's here. So if we then go over, and I've got the oxide this time to show you the difference. We just go over very lightly. I don't want to go too heavy because I want to keep that tile look about it. If you go over, look, maybe go in the corners a little bit, because of course black with the oxide, it just gives you that nice feel to it. But now the last bit I'm going to show you is on this one, and we're going to use the same Uncharted Mariner, so I can give you the two, show you the two. Now what you can do with this is, I'm not sure we're going to have a chance to do this straight away because you do normally need to let it dry. What you can do is you can sand it back. Not the sand texture paste, because that it doesn't work like this would. But the ordinary structure paste, you can actually sand it back, which looks really lovely. So I'll just dry this off. I don't think I'm going to get a chance to sand it back because it does need to be completely dry. But what you do is just take a little bit of sandpaper or sanding block, whatever you like to use, and then just very lightly, just sand over the top, and it'll give you that really super weathered look to it. So just take that off. I don't know, you'd need to add like coppery feel and that sort of thing for more of a patinaed look. But look at this, absolutely, I just love this. I love the structure paste, the actual combination of the structure paste on the black with this particular colour. Look at that. Now I like that. Now yes, it is a bit more distressed, a bit more weathered. Yeah, it's not dry enough for me to sand it back. But all I'll do is take a little bit of sanding paper very lightly, just sand it back. And then what you could do two things. You could either go in with a little bit of ink if you wanted to, because that would then it would obviously absorb it even more, or you could go in with another colour. Now let's put my top on. Give it a shake each time you use them, even though you've used them earlier on. So I've just gone in with a bit of peacock feathers. Now, of course, obviously we're staying with the blue family. And now you'll be able to see. So if I'd have sanded that back, the peacock feathers would have sunk into where I'd sanded it. And it would have been absolutely stunning. There we go. And you've got those lovely purple sort of bits, not very technical, is it? Highlights, lowlights, maybe lowlights in there as well. So, oh my goodness, sorry, I've just looked at the clock. I do beg your pardon. So what I'm going to do, let me just gather all my bits and pieces. I'm hoping that we have got a little bit of an insight now as to what we can actually do with all these gorgeous sprays. So as you know, we did use the different texture pastes. So we've used the sand, we've used the what I call the regular. You could use this. You could use the obviously the light texture paste. That's not a problem at all. That wouldn't be any different to this one, only in as much as this is thicker. I like to use this one for my stencils. I like to use the lighter one maybe for card project stencils and things. So we've used these, and you can see the different effects that we've had, that we've used. And of course we have used. We've done the feathers. So the difference between the two, this is very galactic. Now the card has settled down, look, you can see it's much nicer. So the settled down a treat, hasn't it? And then of course that on the white, the black on the white, black on the black. And then of course what started all this off was this one. And the one thing that I haven't mentioned is, the other thing that we can do is we can use it as a paint. So I have actually gone ahead with the bee, and I'm going to bring that up really closely because I don't think the photograph that I put on Thursday really gave it justice, because you can see all that beautiful mica on the bee. And what I used a little bit of a tiny bit of the walnut stain, but then I put spice marmalade over the top, just a little bit of spice marmalade, so you can see the red tones and the gold tones, copper and all that. And then I've used peacock feathers and a little bit of Uncharted Mariner, and I've just added a little bit of the fine crackle on his wings. and I don't think we actually really saw that properly. So there you go. So that was the actual project that started it off. And then before we finish, let me just lay these all down again and just show you. They won't be in the right order. I need to put the tops back on those. Obviously I will do when I tidy my desk. There we go. As I don't mean in the right order, because there is no particular order, but I put them in colour families before, didn't I? So we've got the spice marmalade, walnut stain, peacock feathers, peeled paint, worn lipstick, uncharted mariner, wilted violet, twisted citron, weathered wood, which I must say this on black is divine, and barn door. Now these are the ones that are in the set that you can have a look for on Thats Crafty, and Laura has tagged you in to it on the post, and this is the one that's at obviously comes as a set and is an exceptionally good affordable price, but you can also buy them separately if you wish. Okay, so possibly, I know I've gone over my time, I do beg your pardon. I hope nobody minded. Well, I'll know if I turn it round and nobody's there.
They've all gone for some lunch.
They've all gone for lunch because they're starving. Lovely. Fantastic. Well, oh, what was that? Oh, you put the paste up. Lovely. Oh, hi, Angela. Hello, lovely. Now, there's been a few slight changes in the way that we can store videos on Facebook, because obviously Facebook decided it wanted to have a little bit of a whatever, I don't know. And yeah. Oh, you don't do the sets anymore? Have you ever got the individuals on a multi-buy? Oh, sorry, Laura, I misunderstood. You sold out of the sets. Well done. You got a multi-buy for the same price. Oh, there you go then. Oh, Dina. Oh, lovely. I didn't know you was here. Oh, I know. They're lovely, aren't they? I bet you've used them. Oh, you haven't? Oh, you'll love them. Absolutely love them, Dina. Now, yes, going back to the Facebook, storing videos. We can only store a Facebook live or a video that we do on a group now for 30 days. I think you'll see from Liz, because she's transferring them onto YouTube. So after 30 days, they do need to be put onto YouTube. So I'm going to have a chat with Laura about this, and then hopefully we can get them moved over. Oh, thank you, Jean. Yeah, thank you very much. Sometimes just technique-y, showing you what things do is quite a good insight, because you know, we can watch videos, we can look at this, and we can listen to other people, but it's actually finding out the different, the good things and the okay things and the really good things about a product, isn't it? And I think by playing and showing you what I've done and everything. So what I am really hoping is that if any of you do own these already and you do have them, please do you know, do a project, put a comment on. Let's have a little bit of a conversation about it, because it's really good to chat about different products and how you've used them, what you, I've got hiccups, sorry, what you really like to do with them, and yeah, and just share what you're doing. Don't worry, Angela. You can catch up later, because I will put it onto the group. Okay, so I'm going to say cheerio. If there is any questions afterwards, obviously you know where we are. Oh, thank you very much, Tracy. No, it's my pleasure, absolute pleasure. What I'll do is I'll play around with these backgrounds, not today because I've got something else I've got to do today. Play around with these backgrounds and then make a few bits and bobs up, and then we can see you know how I do use things up that I do technique things on. Okay, all right then. So thank you ever so much for popping in. Thank you for oh, thank you, Philippa. Thank you, darling. And also I think our Liz is over on Crafting Together with All Brands. Is it this evening, Liz? I think you might be able to tell me. So yes, so that's that. And I will be on Crafting Together with All Brands on Thursday, because it's the last Thursday of the month. Can you believe that? January took forever and February's gone roller skating on. So there you go. I'll see you on Thursday. Hopefully you'll be able to join with Crafting Together with All Brands. Thank you, Laura, and I'll be in touch. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye.